Here's a story out of Massachusetts. Eighth graders facing criminal charges for bullying on social media. Let's watch the report.
This is a universal issue that we must face as one unified community.
Developing news now from Western Mass. A group of eighth graders facing criminal charges for allegedly setting up a mock slave auction on Snapchat. Boston 25 News reporter John Monahan live not far from the school. And John, the DA calls this behavior vile.
That's right, he did, Vanessa, and he also says the fact this happened in a middle school is very unsettling. We also spoke to the mother of one of the victims here, and she tells us this alleged incident of a mock slave auction is not the only time her daughter has faced an incident of racial bullying. 6 classmates, 8th graders in Southwick, will face criminal charges for their alleged role in a mock slave auction, according to the Hampton County DA.
Several students uttered hateful and racist comments, including notions of violence toward people of color, racial slurs, derogatory pictures and videos, and a mock slave auction directed at 2 juveniles.
The mother of one of the students targeted, who spoke out when allegations first came to light, applauded the DA for filing charges. In a statement, she says in part, "Your dedication to upholding justice in our community is commendable and provides a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness of this traumatic incident." The incident took place on Snapchat among several 8th grade students on February 8th and 9th. It was reported to school officials on February 9th, and an investigation began.
Which aims to hold accountable those who committed provable criminal acts.
So criminal charges for 8th graders. We're talking about 13-year-old kids here. And that's just pure madness. Pure madness. Criminal charges for edgy Snapchat posts by 8th graders is... Now, were the posts offensive? I haven't seen them. As far as I know, they haven't been made public. Maybe they have been. I haven't seen them. I don't need to see them. Were they offensive? Sure. Of course, very offensive. A mock slave auction, that's very offensive. Targeting, individual people, even more offensive and wrong. Does that mean that it rises to the level of the district attorney getting involved and filing criminal charges against 13-year-old kids? Kids in middle school? No, of course not. Like, we should have ways of handling very bad behavior from kids that doesn't involve getting the district attorney, on the case. And this is how it goes now, right? We criminalize adolescent mischief while at the same time taking actual crimes, actual violent crimes by adults and treating it like it's adolescent mischief. So we go easy on criminals, actual criminals, violent people who are, direct threats to their communities, while turning kids who are not criminals into criminals. It's all completely backwards. It's upside down, insane. And, like I often say with these sorts of cases, I would find it, now, I'm against criminalizing offensive comments and jokes made by kids under any circumstance, and we all should be. Doesn't mean I'm against punishing kids who engage in this kind of behavior. Of course they should be punished. Balance of Nature Fruits and Veggies is the most convenient way to get whole fruits and vegetables daily. They use an advanced cold vacuum process that encapsulates fruits and vegetables into whole food supplements without sacrificing their natural antioxidants. The capsules are completely void of additives, fillers, extracts, synthetics, pesticides, or added sugar. The only thing in Balance of Nature's fruits and veggie capsules are fruits and veggies. Imagine trying to eat 31 different fruits and vegetables every day. That sounds miserable and time-consuming. It's just not possible to do. With Balance of Nature, there's never been an easier way to ensure that you get your daily dose of fruits and vegetables. Go to balanceofnature.com and use promo code Walsh to get 35% off your first set of fruits and veggies and an additional $10 off every additional set you buy. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Walsh. Even if you're not all that into sports betting with Bet Online adds a layer of excitement to the game. With March Madness coming up, imagine how you would feel watching your favorite basketball team or athlete compete with the added thrill of having a stake in the outcome, BetOnline is running a March Madness Bracket Challenge in which the winner will walk away with $50,000. And here's the kicker. Even if your bracket is among the top 1,000 winners, you'll still be a winner and take home some cash. For just $20, you can secure your spot in the challenge. This is a small investment for a chance to win big. Don't miss out. You've got until March 21st to create your bracket. So while you're watching your favorite team, why not spice things up with a friendly wager? You might just find that it takes your love of sports to a whole new level. Go to betonline.ag to place your bets and create a bracket today. Use promo code Walsh for a 50% instant deposit bonus of up to $1,000. That's betonline.ag. Use promo code Walsh. BetOnline, the options are endless. But criminalizing it, making it a criminal matter, I'm against that. However, it would be somewhat less outrageous to me if we lived in a society where law and order was emphasized like to the nth degree. And if we lived in the kind of society where there was just no tolerance for illegal behavior, where if you're an actual criminal, we're going to throw the book at you and there's not going to be any mercy. And if you're a violent criminal, you're going away probably forever, if not worse than that, depending on what your what your infraction was. If we lived in that kind of society, and then some of that was kind of bleeding down even to kids who are posting offensive things on social media, again, it would still be wrong. I'd be against it. But it would be slightly less outrageous. The problem is that this is happening in the context of a society where there's no law and order. You know, where there's almost no emphasis on justice. Where there's almost no, especially punitive justice. Almost no, not just a no emphasis, but a deliberate de-emphasis on those kinds of things. We happen to live in a society where you can commit actual violent crimes against your fellow human beings and be out on the street that same day. And in that context is where we are passing down criminal charges on 13-year-old kids for Snapchat posts. That's what makes it all the more outrageous. And by the way, again, without having seen these posts, anyone who is really shocked that 13-year-old boys were joking about slavery or whatever they were doing, anyone truly shocked by that is sheltered in the extreme. This is the kind of thing that 13-year-old boys, like, it's not okay. Again, you should correct the behavior. 13, 14-year-old boys, can tend to do a lot of things that are not okay. They need to have their behavior corrected. It's not really shocking, though. And the reason is that for 13-year-old boys, things are funny if they're extremely offensive. So in the mind of many 13-year-old boys, many 8th grade boys, what they're thinking is like, whatever is the most offensive thing I can do or say is automatically funny. In the adolescent male mind, that's the way it works. Now, as you get a little bit older, there are many contexts where something that is deemed offensive by society can still be funny, but then you as you get older and you mature, hopefully you have moral standards, and also you need there to be things like punchlines and that sort of, in order for there to be a joke, right? Just simply saying something offensive just for the sake of it isn't necessarily funny, but in the mind of a adolescent kid, that's often the way that it works. Which also means, by the way, and the point there, well, there's 2 points. Number one, all the more reason why you don't criminalize this stuff. You're dealing with kids whose minds are not, their brains are not even close to fully developed. And they're not thinking through the consequences of their actions, not thinking through the consequences. To them, it's like, oh, well, it's funny, so I should do it. They're not thinking through all the consequences of it. But also, the more, the more we try to prohibit sort of wrong think, the more we live in this woke leftist dystopia, the more you're going to have 13 and 14-year-old boys making outrageously offensive jokes because they're looking at society and they're looking at, okay, well, like, what are the things that are totally off limits for me? Well, that's what's funny. So, in other words, the more you react this way to this kind of thing, the more of it you're going to get. which maybe is not a bug but a feature for these tyrants. You know, because then it gives them the pretext to like try to put more 13-year-old white kids in jail, which is what they want to do. Hey, YouTube, thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like access to my full show with no ads, you should go to dailywire.com and use promo code Walsh to get 2 months free on all annual plans. See you there.